Hey guys, Natural Drea here, and welcome. If you're new, and welcome back to my channel. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any more videos from me. Today I thought I'd do something a little different. We're doing the eyeshadow palette tag. I believe I did this a few years ago on my channel. I don't remember unless I did it as a video or I did it as an actual blog post. But anyway, I figured I'd do it again just to switch things up and you know, not hit you with back to back hair videos. You know, I am more than just the natural hair. I mean, I like makeup and stuff like that. So I figured I'd do the eyeshadow palette tag. So there's a couple questions and let's just hop into this tag. So first one is your newest palette. And my newest palette is the Lip Bar and Justine Sky collab. This is the Island Girl collection. So this is my newest palette that I recently got. This can be used as like eyeshadows, highlight, bronzer. It's a really pretty palette. I've dabbled in it a little bit. I do need to play with it more, but very pigmented, super beautiful, and I absolutely love it. So that is that. Next one is your oldest palette, and trying to pull it out here because I got I had to go find a whole bunch of palettes. It's my Morphe 35U palette. I've had this for a while. I've had older palettes, but I've gotten rid of a lot of my really old ones. So it's the 35U, and that's what it looks like. This palette. I love Morphe palettes. I know there's a little bit of controversy with Morphe now, but I still like I still have a couple of their palettes. I like it. So hey, I haven't used it in a while, so it's just been sitting. So I think this is my oldest palette that I have to date. Next is most expensive. Yeah, I don't have like one of those palettes that are like $100 something. I'm probably gonna have to say, I don't know who's, I think it's Urban Decay. I believe Urban Decay Naked. I think this was 55 because I was gonna say my Anastasia one, but I think they're like 45 and I think this runs for 50. So I'm gonna have to say Naked palette. This is like $55, yeah. For most affordable, I'm gonna have to say that it's my Ray Ray and BH Cosmetics, the second palette she came out with them. This was like I think it was like $15 or $17. It was like $15 or $17 for this palette. Very affordable, really great quality. I absolutely love it. So here's what that palette looks like. Absolutely love this palette. I love both of the collabs that she had with BH Cosmetics. They're amazing. Everyday palette. I think I'm gonna have to go back into that one, the first and the second. These, if I don't know what I want to do, I reach for one of these palettes. This one because it has basically everything. It has your eyeshadow palette and it has stuff to highlight and contour with. So this palette has everything. So that's why this is to me an everyday palette, because it has everything you need to create a look. And then this one, I would say another everyday because it has those neutral colors to create a neutral look. It has those really colorful ones, so you can do anything or whatever with those palettes. And I feel like both of them are really great just every day. If you don't know what to do, you can reach for one of those, and I know I can create an everyday look. Most colorful, I may have to go back into the Morphe. I'm trying to use different palettes for each question, but I guess I'm gonna say one of the colorful palettes I have is the Masquerade Mini by Juvia's Place. This is one of the most colorful palettes I own. Really beautiful colors. I love it. Very pigmented. And then my Morphe 35U palette is colorful too because it has a lot of colors in here as well. So I say those are my most colorful palettes, I would have to say. Smallest, where is it? My smallest palette is the Maybelline The City Mini palette, the collab they did with Makeup Shayla. It's like my smallest palette that I own. So I really do like this one too. It's a good everyday or just really cute palette. It's like really small. It's my smallest palette that I own to date. So really cute small palette. My largest palette is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. Oh, don't fall. I'm almost dropping stuff. Ah! Hold on. I don't want to drop my... Okay. This palette, this is like my biggest palette that I own. This thing is huge. And it's a little dirty, but yeah, this is like my largest palette that I own compared to the smallest palette. Yeah, this is really big. The palette with the best memory, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Urban Decay Naked palette because my husband got this for me one Christmas and I wasn't expecting it. I know I hinted that I wanted one of the Naked palettes. I just couldn't bring myself to spend the money on it. It's just me. But he bought it for me one Christmas. That was like the best memory because I wasn't expecting it and I'm super thankful. So it's the original Naked palette. I don't use it as much. I was using it like crazy. I do really like this palette. Really great one. You know, I don't reach for it as much as I used to, but it's like the one with the best memory because my husband got it for me. So that's palette worth the hype. I know a lot of people, their answer, I'm going to say it to the Jackie Aina and Anastasia collab. This palette was so worth the hype. I was so excited when I saw the promos for it, and I was so excited she had her own palette. Then I saw the palette, I said I have to get my hands on this. And honestly, you can use every single color in this palette. She made it, I guess, mostly catered for women of color because there's palettes that are out there we cannot use every color, and this I can use every single shade in this palette. Like, she did a really great job. The pigmentation, the variety of colors, you can do everyday glam looks, dramatic looks, you know, she really did her thing with this palette. So this was honestly really worth the hype. If you I don't know, I think it was a limited edition. I don't know if it's still available, but if it is, I highly recommend getting your hands on this because it's honestly worth the hype. It really is. And then the palette not so worth the hype, I'm going to say the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Vault palettes. So I remember when she was creating that palette, and then she said there was colors that didn't make the original palette, so she said she created these Vault shades. I was excited, but then when I got the palette and played in it, it just was a little disappointing to me because some of the shades didn't show up as they do in the pan. I tried to create a look with this one time and I was just like, you know, it was just to get something that was like outside of my comfort zone for palettes. And I mean, I like this, but it's just, they weren't worth the hype. A lot of people weren't so happy with them either, so they were okay. I probably will try to play in this again, but it's just like the colors were deceiving in the pan when the colors were deceiving in the palette as opposed to when I applied them to my eye. It just came out totally different. It just didn't look like I thought it would, if you know what I'm saying. So that's kind of the one that kind of wasn't worth the hype for me. So favorite palette from my favorite brand. I have so many favorite brands. I don't have like one, but if I had to say I had a favorite palette, I'm going to say the first It's My Ray Ray and BH Cosmetics collab. This, when I saw that she was coming out with this, I was excited because I love her and knew it was going to be great. But when it was just like an all-in-one palette, this became a favorite because I did show it earlier, but it was just like, you have your basic eyeshadow palette here, and then you have, I can contour and 3 highlights. And I think this was like a under eye, or some people can contour with this, but it came with everything. And that's why, to me, that's a favorite because it is an all-in-one. I can take this, if I'm traveling, probably basically this is the only palette that I would need. And sometimes when I do travel, this is the only palette that I do take because it has everything I need. I don't have to bring 50,000 other makeup items. I can just bring this one. So that, to me, this has to be a favorite for a favorite brand. Plus BH Cosmetics was like one of the first eyeshadow palettes that I ever purchased because they're so affordable. And I don't have those ones anymore that I originally had, but I absolutely love those palettes. They're really affordable, great quality, great pigmentation, and this palette was just everything. I think this one is discontinued, unfortunately, but if you can get your hands on it somewhere, I just recommend just get your hands on it. And then most used palette, I'm gonna have to say, I know, it's like I try to pull different palettes, but it's kind of hard. Most used would have to be these two. Both It's My Ray Ray BH Cosmetics palettes because, for one, they're everyday for me. Two, I just love them. Now I can reach for one of these and create a look with it. If I don't know what to do, I know if I reach for one of these, I can create a great look. Even if it's an everyday for work or going out, date night, girls night, I can create looks with this. So I have to say that, you know, these are my most used palettes. I haven't hit pan on, I don't think I've hit pan on any of my palettes because I really don't wear makeup every day like that. especially since this pandemic. But I'm trying to get back into creating more looks and just wearing makeup more often. So yeah, and this makeup look I have on right now, you'll get a tutorial after this video drops. So that was my eyeshadow palette tag, and I tag all of you watching this. If you want to do it, I encourage you just to do it, and hopefully you enjoy. Let me know your favorite palette down below, and until next time guys, I will catch you in the next video. See ya.